Hello viewers, Super GT here. Today is a very special day because I'm going to be racing someone you've probably heard of, a very big star with the sim racing world, Mr. Jann Mardenborough. Yes, Jann probably has the most well-known story in sim racing, being the star of the recent Gran Turismo movie. He now races for Ford in GT3 cars and even directly raced against Max Verstappen at the Nürburgring recently. In many ways, we share a very similar story of starting in sim racing and now racing in the real world. And so it's an honour to finally be able to race against him in a 1v1. We're also able to have a positive chat about racing and his plans for the future. Now the racing question is on Rennsport, so let's jump in. Yes, here we go, a 6-lap race around Spa. I've gone for the BMW. He is in the Ford Mustang GT3, of course. 6 laps around Spa. Let's do it. Let's see who the best sim racer slash real driver slash Rennsport player is. We are racing here on Rennsport, which launches 13th of November. Let's see who can win the race. Now, obviously the launch there, absolutely shocking from me. One of the worst launches you're ever likely to see. And so we instantly surrender the lead. Now, this was definitely one of those races where I had the potential to be made to look very silly. If he were to just drive off in the distance, I was determined to make sure that didn't happen. Now, as we come down the Kemmel Straight towards Nacon for the first time, go to the inside, going to cover, go defensive, and perhaps overslow the car so it gives us the space on the exit to go around the outside, carry the speed, and go back into first place. Now, into the middle sector. Plenty of time here just to try to consolidate at the lead. As he tries around the outside, it's probably not going to work there. As we just really kind of learn the physics of Rennsport here. Just try to get an understanding of how it feels. As we then head down the hill towards Puan for the first time. Now, it's interesting racing Jann. As I said, never raced him in sim before. Never raced him in real life, from what I can remember. I think we did a kart race at Butmore Park once, which was purely for fun, with some other creators as well. But I'm very aware of his prowess as a racing driver, as a sim racer, having of course won GT Academy, the first winner of that, or sorry, the second winner of that, then going on to have a very good career in racing, in motorsport, and now racing with Fords in the GT3 program. So it's really interesting to be able to race him. He's the OG guy, really, in the sim racing world, who went on to race in the real world. So he's our kind of our flagship product, if you like. Now coming up in towards the final chicane for the first time, you can see him in the rear view mirror. I say the mirror, I say the screen that we have there. Not quite getting on the power as early as we would like. The Mustang looking very big in the screen now, with Jann looking all over the back of me in towards the last source hairpin for the second time. And I was thinking I'm going to let him go through there. I'm not going to defend it, because I thought, you know what, I can get the slingshot down the back straight, but I make an absolute hash of the hairpin, and kind of shows there I'm not really getting used to the slow speed. I think I'm good for the medium and high, but I was slow through the final chicane. I was slow there through the first hairpin, both slow corners, and we've lost some ground. Coming down the Kemmel Straight for the second time, lots of weaving going on, left to right, right to left, making sure we stay in the tow. And again, we're not completely sure about exactly the nature of the physics on Rennsport, in the sense that we don't know exactly what the slipstream is like. It seems like it's benefiting me as long as I stay within this sort of range. So we're just trying to learn our way through it as we go, and trying to learn the differences between our cars. Arguably, I'd say the BMW seems to have slightly higher top-end speed, which could prove crucial for me. I might need that extra BOP in order to beat Jann, as he's giving it nice under control through Puan, and not really making any mistakes. I suppose this is kind of the nature of being a long-term racing driver. You know, racing against the likes of Super GT is probably not going to put you under too much pressure. I don't know. Jann maybe felt some pressure. I have no idea. This was probably... I was going to say that one of the least important races ever, but up against Super GT, surely has to be top 3 of all time for Jann. Now coming up the back straight. We haven't really got enough of a toe here. Quite a bit further back than we'd like. But we've still got plenty of time to get this gap a bit further down. You see definitely gaining towards the higher speeds. Second half of the straight. BMW looking good here. As and gets a really good exit actually. Just pulls away slightly. And we're going to have to buy their time. And it's a very close race, so clearly the cars are quite evenly matched, and I would say that we seem to be quite evenly matched as well, which I was happy about. There's every chance that putting myself against Jann could end in disaster, as in one of us just drives off to the distance, probably him, and the race is boring and nothing happens, but it doesn't seem to be the case here. So lap 3 through Radion and Eau Rouge. Are we close enough this time around to get this overtake done? I wouldn't say so. Probably still a bit too far back. It would be an audacious dive bomb. It does weirdly say dive bomb on the dashboard there on the right hand side. It does cover the inside. That was kind of one of those awkward ones where I was arriving quite late and might have dived for it. So we had to make sure cover the inside. He's going to do it again and not taking any chances. You might as well just cover the inside. It's only a 2-horse race. There's no one else to worry about. So I think he's identified that. It doesn't matter about time loss really. All that matters is just beating the other guy. So it's definitely a different type of race than what we're both used to. But now definitely right on the back of him. The rear wing of that Mustang taking up half the screen now. As Jann, and look at the mirror. Oh my god, the ominous sight of the BMW M4. I think there's a bit of contact there as we enter the Piff Path. But we resume our original positions here. Still trying to find a way through. Definitely closer this time around as we head up towards the infamous Blanchimont corner and then the final chicane. Definitely a lot closer here. This could be a good overtaking opportunity. I think into Blanchimont is always a big risk. We're going to leave it for now. And of course, you might have seen some of the incidents of the Spa 24. There was a very big one through Blanchimont this year. And Jann has actually raced in the Spa 24 a couple of times. So very experienced at this. And hopefully it's a race I'll enter one day, but we'll see. Nice little switchback here on the exit. Side by side at the end of lap 3, trying to engineer this move. And good racing, I think, between the two of us. Good respect being shown. Into the braking zone of La Source, 4th time, more than half of the race done. He goes really deep. Doesn't get the exit he would have liked. Definitely lose a bit of time, and I'm definitely closer than I've been in the last 2 laps. So this is going to be a very good opportunity. You know, the BMW is quick in a straight line. Coming through Eau Rouge. I don't think there's too much you can do about this. Single line through there, of course. And tucking into that slipstream seems to be very strong when you get close. And we're going to power by and resume the lead of the race. So this, of course, is the bit where we try and pull away in the ideal world. As we enter the middle sector, of always an important place here. As we come down into this awkward long right-hander, seems to take forever to go through here. As the gap just opens up slightly, and that's what we kind of want to see. Just as long as he's not within overtaking range. I think we're both conscious in a 1v1 race like this. You're always conscious that as long as the car behind is within range of a dive bomb into that final chicane on the last lap, they're probably going to go for it. And you don't want to have to think, should I defend, should I not defend? Ideally, you want to have that gap. And I think that's what we're both trying to achieve. Definitely pulled away slightly in this middle sector. As we both, I think we've both kind of adapted to the game now. This is lap number 5. We're going to skip it forward a little bit. And I think he was having a bit of trouble there. Just perhaps on the brakes a little bit too late into the La Source hairpin. And from what I could tell, the Ford Mustang just a little bit squirrely on the exit of the slow speed corners, especially turn 1. And that was lending me quite a bit of space there up in front. As we're going to move it forward slightly. I think he was very good on the brakes though, from what I could see. as we head down the hill. This is lap number 6 now. The gap was pretty close. I think on lap 5 I was looking comfortable, but lap 6 you managed to bring it back in slightly. And this is the phase of the race I was talking about where we just want to get that gap before we get to that final chicane. With half a lap left to go, or even less than half a lap now. Are we going to be able to beat Mr. Jann Mardenborough in a 1v1? It would be pretty cool if we can do that. As we head on to the back straight for the final time. I mean, I'm just judging the amount of pixels on the screen, that makes sense. And it doesn't look like he's quite close enough. I mean, this would be a miraculous dive bomb from this far back. And you never know. I just don't know if he's going to go for it from this kind of distance. And I think being a very sensible racing driver, he realised that was too far back to go for it. And so, after 6 laps of fine racing, we're going to come through and win the race. A very pleasurable race with Jann. And thankfully for me, it is a first place.
Good game.
We've never raced each other, I don't think, not that I can remember. So it's really good to finally race him. And you can tell instantly he's a professional because he does everything right. He puts his car in the right place. He made it really difficult. So it was a really good battle. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you know, to Steve's point, I think now we've shown the world, especially this year, there's a lot of guys that are talented on sim and started to make it to real life, but still, compared to other areas of motorsports where it's hot, and I think the light should be shone on sim races a lot more. The guys making it to virtual to reality because they are quick, they have merit.
That's good fun. But yeah, the BOP was not.
Yeah, I was like, fuck, I'm close, but I'm not like gaining anything. But yeah.
Well, it's good that you're racing because I remember when we met at Amsterdam for the launch of the film, and at that time you didn't know what was happening.
That year, the year after 24, I did a couple of races just purely because of the fact of the marketability. The noise was a bit hot.
Hopefully we'll both be on the grid next year.
Yeah,
racing Max Verstappen.
That would be fucking cool, eh?
Mate, that was so good. I know it was like not a huge entry for that race, but
I think
it was cool that he was there, right?
I had somebody tell me like it was the perfect situation because that was my first time back there since my accidents, 10 years, in a GT3 car at least. So him being there, all the light was on him. So for me, it was like, okay, great. There's nobody kind of there asking stupid questions the whole time, and I could just drive. And if anything, it was the perfect situation for it to kind of go back there again.
Yeah.
Pleasure, mate. Pleasure.
Yeah. Pleasure to race you.
See you on the track next year.
I hope so, mate. If we look at that race, I think the BMW had a bit better straight line speed. He struggled at the top of the hill. When I was in the slipstream, it was just like this. But the other way around, it wasn't quite the same. So maybe he had a slightly better car. But it was a really good race. It was so evident that he was a professional because he just put his car in the right places, kept me under pressure at the end. You know, one mistake and I would have finished second. So really good to race him after all these years. I wish him the best with Ford and his career, trying to build back with Ford in the Mustang GT3. And who knows, maybe in a couple of years he'll be driving the hypercar. Kind of like the story again, going back to Le Mans and getting on the podium, who knows. It's been great to meet Jann, good to race him. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you to Rennsport for making this happen. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.